This week, we saw New York prosecutors go after the Trump organization this week. They cuffed the elderly CFO and they perp walked him out in front of all the cameras to make a big scene about it. So let's bring in legal legend Alan Dershowitz to discuss this. He represented President Trump in his first impeachment trial. He's also the host of the great podcast, The Dersh Show. He's also the author of The Case Against New Censorship, Protecting Free Speech from Big Tech, Progressives, and Universities. Welcome, sir. I've been looking forward to this all week because I've been following this case very closely. I've spoken to some people very close to this. They basically found a bunch of company cars and some nights at an apartment that he didn't pay taxes on. What do you make of this?
Well, first, they're going to throw out all the charges that relate to the federal government. You can't get a sitting district attorney indicting somebody for failing to pay federal income taxes when the IRS hasn't even gone after him. But one of the charges, a major charge, is grand larceny against the United States government. That shows the extent to which they are prepared to stretch existing law and the Constitution to give them authority over federal taxes. It's absurd. If his name was not what it is and he didn't work for the Trump company, he would never be indicted. He would get a letter from the IRS saying, you owe some back taxes, please pay it with interest.
Yeah, but one of the big things that I want to focus on here is this is the junk, the garbage, the absolute awfulness that they do in Russia or the Soviet Union, when that was around. I mean, this is something they went after the finance because it's always follow the money. They said, we're going to twist this guy. We're going to charge him with grand larceny for not reporting taxes on the fact that Donald Trump had a valued employee and paid for his kids to go to private school for a year. They're charging him with grand larceny on that. Are you kidding me? This is absolutely insane. They're using the local office to, like you said, prosecute federal crimes for something just to try to push him, to get him to turn on something else. I mean, what's the end result here?
Well, the end result is either he will or he won't turn. If he doesn't turn, they will sentence him to prison, probably not a long prison term, generally for crimes like this relating to relatively small amount of taxes. There's either no prison time or a small amount of prison time, or he will turn. And the dominoes will fall. That's the goal, to try to get people like him to testify against the higher-ups. The ultimate goal here, obviously, is Donald Trump. And the question, will they get people to turn on him? And can you believe the evidence of people who have essentially been bribed to pay? That's the way the system works. It works for both sides. The idea that people are basically paid with years in prison to become witnesses. If a defense attorney ever paid a nickel to a witness, the defense attorney would be disbarred, but prosecutors are allowed to give life and liberty in exchange for testimony, which juries are expected to believe. It's just not the way the system should work.
It is crazy. Now, Allen Weisselberg, he obviously pled not guilty. President Trump's not being charged with anything. His sons aren't being charged with anything. Is this like we said, are they trying to go up the tree and twist one guy to turn on them?
No question. And who do you think really perfected that technique? It was Rudy Giuliani when he was the U.S. Attorney in New York. He came to my class one day at Harvard, and he talked about the domino theory of prosecution. You knock down the lowest domino, then he'll knock down another domino. Ultimately, you'll get to the top domino. And, it's common, but the idea of using it for political purposes in order to try to discourage somebody from running for president. Look, I didn't vote for Donald Trump. I voted for Joe Biden, for Hillary Clinton, for Barack Obama. I'm a liberal Democrat, but I'm appalled by this method of law enforcement. And whether you're a Democrat or Republican, a liberal or conservative, you're next. If they can use these of law enforcement techniques against a former president and his people, they can use it against anybody they don't like.
Right. Now, I'm going to shift gears a little bit because you literally wrote the book on this. Supreme Court Justice Neil Gorsuch and Clarence Thomas say they want to revisit libel laws. And, because of the spread of social media and the ease of me to type something up, hit send, and 1 billion people see it if it goes viral, I mean, what will be the practical application if they're actually able to change the laws?
Well, it's interesting. I really did write the book on this because I was a law clerk for New York Times versus Sullivan. So I was back there in the day in 1964. And I do think that there has to be some revision, that the social media have changed everything. And it has to be become more possible to sue not only social media. Look, as you know, I'm suing CNN. They doctored a tape of mine. They left out the words illegal or unlawful, and then had their pundits on television having me say the president can do anything unlawful or illegal, even though I said exactly the opposite, and I'm suing them. And I'm hoping the Supreme Court, if they have to take the case ultimately, will use it as a vehicle for saying, look, the media can't just get away with lying and deliberately making up stories. I think that the time for some kind of accountability consistent with freedom of speech and with the marketplace of ideas, the time has come to reconsider some of that.
I completely agree. Alan Dershowitz, we appreciate you joining us this morning.
Hi, Emma Reckenberg here. If you like this video, there's a whole lot more to see on Newsmax TV. You can watch for free right here on our YouTube live stream and be the first one here each time our experts break down real news. Just hit that subscribe button, ring the bell icon, and stay with us on America's fastest growing cable news channel, Newsmax TV.